We will solve the following exercise. The exercise is the number 2.20. If FA is equal to 600 units in the I direction, minus 800 units in the J direction, and this is in kips, and FB is equal to 200 in the I direction minus 200 in the J direction. Also keep, what is the magnitude of the force? F is equal to FA minus 2 times FB. Well, first it's important for us to understand what is a kip. Kip is a unit of force. It is not usually used along the international system units, but it is actually pretty usually to use when we are talking about US customary base units. So all that we have to take into account here is that one kip is equal to 1,000 force pounds. Alright, this is the correct equivalence. For when we have already know or understand what is a kip, then this is pretty easy. Why is that? Because we have right here FA is equal to 600 in the I direction minus 800 in the J direction, and we have FB. This is equal to 200 in the I direction minus 200 in the J direction. Alright, first what I'm going to do is this part of the exercise, 2 times FB. Alright, for when we are multiplying a scalar by a vector, and remember that when we talk about a scalar number is every single one of them that is actually a whole number. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. Those are scalar numbers. So for when we are multiplying that by a vector, remember that a vector has magnitude and direction. For when we are talking about a vector, remember that magnitude and direction. The direction is given by the components, and the magnitude by the components. In this case, the magnitude of FB would be equal to the square root of 200 square plus minus 200 square. Alright? Remember, all you have to do is to take into account every single part of the vector, evaluated to the second power and the square root of that. Alright, so for when we're multiplying, once again, a scalar by a vector, all we have to do is multiply, taking into account every single part of the vector. So right here we have 2FB. Okay, 2FB is going to be equal to 2 multiplied by the vector. What is the vector? 200 units in the I direction minus 200 units in the J direction. Alright, so 2FB is going to be equal to 2 times 200 in the I direction. That is equal to 400 in the I direction minus 2 times 200 in the J direction. So minus 400 in the J direction. And that would be all. Now we have FA and 2 times FB. All we have to do next is say that FA minus 2 times FB is going to be equal to what? FA is equal to 6 units in the I direction minus 800 units in the J direction minus 400 in the I direction minus 400 in the J direction. Alright, remember that when we have a negative sign outside of the parentheses, this parenthesis in this case, all we have to do is change the symbol that we have next to the value of the number. So what does it mean? That, for example, right here I have a positive number. Right here, of course, I have a negative number. That means that I should change everything that is within that parenthesis. So that means that FA minus 2FB is going to be equal to 600 in the I direction minus 800 in the J direction. This doesn't change. Plus, or it's better for me to eliminate that parenthesis. So I'm going to eliminate this ASAP. Minus 400 in the I direction plus 400 in the J direction, right? As you can see, I've changed this symbol to a negative symbol and this symbol to a positive symbol. So that means that I'm going to evaluate this value with this value. Why is that? Because these two values are along the same axis or the same direction, and that direction is the I direction. So FA is minus 2 times FB is going to be equal to 600 minus 400 is equal to 200 in the I direction. And I'm going to do the same thing for these two values, 400 and 800. So 800 minus 800 plus 800, minus 800 plus 400 is equal to minus 400 in the J direction. And we have here our resultant vector. So let me read once again. What is the magnitude? They're asking for the magnitude, all right? So all we have to do here is to find the magnitude of this vector. Remember, for when we are looking for the magnitude, all we have to do is to evaluate every single part of the vector evaluated to the second power, and all we have to do is to evaluate the square root of that. So FA minus 2FB, the magnitude is going to be equal to this, and this is going to be equal to the square root of 200 square minus plus minus 400 square. All right, so the magnitude of this is 447.2135. I always use 4 significant digits after the comma. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and this doesn't look like a 4 or a 7. Let me rewrite this. So 4, 4, 7. Better. We're talking about what kind of units? Force units. What kind? Keep. So keep. And that would be all, guys. This is how you can solve this exercise.